Hello, and you are very welcome to episode 130 of the Take a Pull podcast. They are coming quick and fast now as we enter the winter months. Deck, how are things? How are you? All good?
All good, Andy. Well done today. Not a bad day at all.
Not a bad day at all, actually. Yeah, a couple of winners of Turles now. There, none of them, life-changing prices, but a winner's a
No.
winner at the end of the day. The Nap of the Tap was unfortunately second.
The only one that let us down.
Of course, the only one that let us down, but it is what it is. Look, we've an unbelievable weekend coming our way at Fairyhouse. We've had Navan now, we've had Punchestown and Fairyhouse. The last big hurrah before we get to Christmas now. Two grade ones on the card with the Hatton's Grace and the Drimmore, which I'm very much looking forward to. And we are very lucky to be joined by the new head man in Fairyhouse, John Sheridan. John, you've big boots to fill, I have to admit now, coming after Peter Rowe. But look, it's congratulations, obviously, with the new role. And how are you getting on? How are you keeping?
Yeah, good. Thanks a million, lads. Thanks for having me on. That's been great. It's been a busy few months getting used to everything, but no, flying now and busy weekend ahead. But it's one that we're really looking forward to. It's look, as you know yourselves, it's a great weekend's racing. There's a lot to look forward to. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, aren't we as well, Deck? Like it's great weekends racing. Maybe just tell us a little bit about the planning that's gone into it, how the ground is looking, what type of crowds you're expecting, etc. So if you want to just let us know.
Yeah, so like there's a huge amount of planning goes into it. I know the way you hear a lot of race course organisers, and they say, "Oh, yeah, the planning starts the day after the previous year's finished." But literally, it actually does. When you see it in reality, it actually does start the day after. So I mean, we've kicked into gear over the last really kind of 2 months. So I joined about 3 months ago, and the last 2 months has been pretty much solely focused, not solely, but a huge amount of focus on the Winter Festival. So, and it's great to see there's so much hustle and bustle going on around here the last couple of days. It's great to see a lot of the things coming to fruition as well. So we've got a lot of different things that we're looking to try and do this weekend. We've got a fan zone, which Rachel Blackmore is going to be in on Sunday, signing her new book. We'll hopefully have a couple of the GA players because they're doing a big fundraiser here. We're hopefully have some of the jockeys out to take photos and sign autographs as well. So that's a big thing that we've been working on for the last while. We've got a few engagement pieces where people can take part and select the best turned out. We'll have prizes for that. We've got a golden ticket in the race card as well. So there's a selection of race cards that have a golden ticket, and there's a selection of prizes. There's a lot of different prizes and varying sizes, but there's one really big prize with that as well. So it'd be great to see who wins that. There's a huge amount of music going on. There's a lot of local entertainment that we've kind of tried to make it as local as we possibly can. So you'll see some locally based musicians at the gate in the marquee, and there's a huge amount going on. I suppose one of the big things we want to do this year is make the ease of entry a bit easier. So we've got free buses on from starting from Ashburn going into Ratoath and into the racecourse, and then there's another bus from Dunshaughlin going into Dunboyne and into racecourse. So that would be a big help to people, and we hope that people avail of that in a big way. There's other ways, the M3 Parkway has a free shuttle bus as well, and then on Sunday there's a bus from George's Quay in Dublin city centre. So I mean, we're trying as many different ways as we can to make sure that people get the best experiences they possibly can when they're at the races. And I think people will have a great weekend ahead this weekend, and it looks like the weather's playing ball as well. So hopefully that stays that way.
Yeah, well, that's the most important thing, John, obviously. And look, that's a fantastic initiative with all those shuttles and all those options, because obviously, yourself, we're probably not the most public transport friendly country in the world usually when it comes to these sort of things. But these shuttle buses is that's a fantastic initiative, and it gives anybody basically from Dublin or Meath really no excuse not to get to the races. Fantastic card coming up as well.
There's no one gone from Clondalkin now.
I will send a limo for you. It'd be grand,
maybe on New Year's Day. There's actually, just circling back there, John, you're talking about patrons possibly being able to pick out the best turned out. That sounds like a very unique idea. I really like that, actually. And it's probably another example of horse racing, it's so unique in the sense that like the public can really be part of the day, not just to spectate it. But where did that idea come about, if you don't mind me asking? Or I feel like it's unique. I haven't heard it at least.
We wanted to, I suppose, we want to give a digital experience to customers who are here throughout the weekend. We want to try and make. There's a couple of different things that we have in the pipeline as well to try and keep that digital experience going a little bit more. This is kind of the first starting point in it. Basically, around the race course and in the race cars, you'll see a QR code. You scan the QR code, enter your details, and pick what you think for each of the races is the best turnout that you see. We'll have the sponsors here on the day. They'll pick their best turnout, and if your selection matches their selection, we'll enter you into a draw for a prize. So it's as simple as that. It'll be simple entry. You'll be able to do it throughout the day, and it's one that we're looking forward just to. It's something to try out. We'll see if it works, and hopefully it does.
Absolutely. Very best of luck with that. Now, obviously, a lot of punters will be listening to us. So, ground obviously a big factor on the weekend. And you said the weather is holding up as well. So, how are we looking ground wise for the weekend, John?
Yeah, so we walked the track this morning and it's soft at the moment. It's yielding soft in a couple of spots. Looks like it might dry out a tiny bit, but I suppose it's probably not a huge amount of drying in the air at the moment. So it looks like it'll probably stay that way for the weekend. The biggest thing that we have is that we've got so many different tracks that we can use. So the hurdle track is the whole track for the weekend really is really fresh ground. It hasn't really been used since Easter. So we've got the luxury that we're able to use two separate hurdle tracks as well. So we've got two strips of fresh ground each day, and then for the chase track we'll be able to move the rails by up to around about 5 yards. So there's a huge amount of fresh ground at play for that as well. So I mean it's nearly a shame to race on it. It looks so nice at the moment. So it's in great nick, and I look at it's very, yourself with the way things are at the moment. It's very fair ground. There's unlikely to be any hard luck stories from ground perspective anyway.
How many, just go slightly off topic, how many meetings a year are on the outside? I know you have a lot of them inside the road.
I think there's 6 on the inside track, and then the remaining 14 or 15, including the flat meetings. So and from a jumps perspective, there's probably about 9 or 10 of those days are on the outside track. And then the flat meetings go right down to the inside near the ambulance track, and then we've got the other 5 or 6 on the inside, the very inside track then.
It's great. It's a nice luxury to have, to be able to save ground for those really big days, like for Easter and this weekend. It's
absolutely it's a massive benefit that we have now. It creates its own headaches in ways, because there's a huge amount of land to be kind of managed and maintained and drained, and even grass cutting it's a lot to do all those kind of things. But it is a massive luxury for us, because like we can really mind the ground, even for the fact that we'll have 2 different hurdle tracks in use over the weekend, one slightly inside the other one. But it's such a luxury for us. Then we can protect the ground so much to be able to maintain it then through the bigger days and through the spring and into Easter.
Fab, absolutely. And just going on ticket pricing, so if anybody hasn't got their hands on a pair of tickets for the weekend, John, what's the pricing up like?
Yeah, so it'd be 20 euros at the moment for Saturday. If you buy them online, it'd be 25 euros at the gate, and it's 30 euros for Sunday at the moment, and 35 when you get to the gate. So look at it's the racing, the quality of racing speaks for itself, but we're hoping, I suppose, there's plenty to go on around the race course. The experience should be there for everyone to enjoy, I think.
Yeah. Is there a weekend ticket, John, you can buy?
Yeah, sorry, there is a weekend ticket. I should know the price of it. I can't remember off the top of my head.
It's good value.
But there is a weekend
ticket.
ticket. The weekend ticket is great value, because it gets you in for both days as well. It's not just one day or the other; it gets you in for both days. So it's great. It's a really good ticket. We're doing group discounts as well. So if you buy 6 tickets or more, you get a 15% discount on a group ticket for either day.
Have you noticed that? Have there been much ticket sales from the UK? Because I've noticed now since the pandemic, there is more and more people traveling from the UK, and I suppose the more that get to see it, the more we'll tell people at home, and the more will come. Like, to be fair, Fairyhouse, the parade ring is one of the nicest in the country, and you can stand at the pre-parade ring not move. You're beside the weigh room, and you're beside the parade ring. Like it's one of the best layouts in the country, Ireland racing, and it's one of the nicest. But and a couple of English people have actually mentioned that to me. People who've been there. So, have you noticed there's many ticket sales from UK? Are they starting to travel more for this?
Oh yeah, they are definitely. Yeah, I mean, there's groups and there's groups that we see that are ones that come pretty much every year for this festival as well. So look at I mean, we're ticket sales overall have been really promising, but yeah, like you say, we get a huge amount from the UK. There's obviously a massive difference between this weekend and what we get from Easter Festival weekend. We get a massive number from UK for that weekend, but there is still a good steady flow of tickets from the UK for this weekend. We get a huge amount from the north as well, which is a big bonus. It's great. It's a nice, it's not a far drive for people coming from the likes of Newry or anywhere like that. So it's a really good one. We do get quite a lot from Northern Ireland, which is great to see as well.
Yeah. €40 for the weekend ticket. I just had a quick scan there while we were recording. €40 for the weekend ticket.
Doing my homework. Doing my homework for me. Thanks.
It's a no-brainer. It's a
well,
no-brainer.
Like when you consider it's a I know we said this, probably saying this last week as well, but when it's like on Gold Cup Day at Cheltenham, it'll be £140 in on the day.
At least,
like
it's amazing value for the two grade ones. You have two grade ones on Sunday, and like the handicaps on Saturday are like
that 2 mile handicap is fierce competitive. We don't even have declarations yet as we record on the Thursday, but
we could be talking for the next 2 hours, Andy, after
Sunday's card is brilliant. The entries for the juvenile hurdle look really, really good as well. I'm really encouraged to see what's entered for the Royal Bond as well. I think that could be a really good renewal of it, and it's probably it's probably the renewal that we need for the Royal Bond from the last couple of years. It hasn't quite hit the mark from a longer term perspective. So this will I'll be very hopeful that this year's Royal Bond should prove to be cut above the rest. I think the Drinmore again, we're probably not going to see massive fields in either the Drinmore or the Hatton's Grace, the 6 and the Hatton Grace at the moment. I'm pretty hopeful to see all 6 go, which will hopefully be, that'll provide a really good renewal of it. But yeah, like you say, the handicaps are really, really strong. And I think Saturday's card, it's an early start on Saturday, 11:36 with the first race, but it's a cracker. It's a really, really good beginner's chase to start off with, so that'll get us going pretty quickly.
Yeah,
it's funny. It's kind of like since the Royal Bond was made a grade 2. It nearly feels like it's deeper. There's not as many scared off because you have to carry a penalty in it. So it's kind of, I feel like it has done something for the race, but obviously you want to get back to grade 1 status, obviously. But like Romeo Coolio was beaten in last year's renewal. He's gone and he went on to be placed at 2 spring festivals, and it's looking a very interesting race this year as well. So it's
I think the Royal Bond could be a standout one for this weekend. I think that looks like it's going to be a really strong race.
Yeah, 100%. And just, I know you Fairyhouse have done this in the past, John. In terms of like possibly combating the low sun, will there be hurdles? I know nothing you can do about the fence already, but will hurdles be moved away from the back straight again, or would you?
We only jump one hurdle in the back straight, so we put an extra hurdle on either side of on the run up to Ballyhack. So if sun does become an issue, then it's you're still taking out one, but at least it's only one flight. There's 2 fences down the back straight as well. So like hopefully, I'd be hoping that looking at the forecast, I'm hoping that the sun doesn't become an issue. Certainly not for Sunday. Sunday appears on the forecast that it's going to be overcast most of the day, so that shouldn't be an issue. I'd be hoping it won't be anyway. So it's not an ideal scenario, but I suppose the guys here have tried to kind of manufacture the course in as best a way as they possibly can, so that we're limiting that impact. That from a hurdles point of view, you're only missing one. I know there's plenty of other places where they might miss 2 or 3. So it's something that we tried last year and it worked, and the trainers and jockeys were all happy with it. So we'll keep that going as much as we can.
Yeah, very innovative as well. I'm pretty sure Fairyhouse the only course to actually do that with the hurdles as well. It's brilliant. Well, look, to nobody's surprise, Fairyhouse have been very good to us again and have kindly offered us a pair of weekend tickets. Is there a pair of tickets?
Yeah, pair of weekend tickets. Yeah,
pair of weekend tickets. I was nearly hoping I didn't oversell it there. Pair of weekend tickets to obviously the Fairyhouse Winter Festival. John, if you want to relay the question to our viewers, it'll be very similar to Punchestown last week. Listeners can enter on YouTube, Spotify, and X/Twitter, of course. And yeah, the more you follow, the better chance, or the more you comment, the better chance you'll have of winning. So, John, go take away the question.
Sounds good, yeah. So what we want to know is who won last year's renewal, the 2024 renewal of the Bar One Betting Dreammore Chase.
There we go. Nice and easy one. A layup for you guys.
There's actually 2 pairs of tickets.
Yeah.
2 pairs, even better.
2 pairs of tickets, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, John, I know, again, really appreciate your time and everything that you're doing.
Oh, hang on, John. You have to give us a winner Saturday.
That's where I was going. I only really appreciate what he does, but we're not letting you go without, without at least trying to give us a winner for Saturday. We'll let you away with Sunday because we don't have declarations.
Yeah, we don't have the declarations for Sunday, right? Yeah. I took a quick look. I won't be too bored and say Jimmy DeSign the first because I do think he will win. I think he looks good. I won't be that bored. I have a bit of you have me in stitches in my tracker for a while, so I do think he has a chance in the handicap chase. And I think in the 153 Young Churchill, I wrote that one down. Richard O'Brien is a really good one, pulling off one like this. Gets a lot of weight. Anna McGuinness, good rider. She takes off 7. He's only got 10 stone 7. I think he's probably got a good chance in the 153, the handicap hurdle.
Yeah, Anna McGuinness, I think she rode a winner about an hour ago at Thurles.
Oh, did she? Even better.
I
hope she hasn't gone down to 5 pounds, though.
She only rides winners.
She only rides winner, yeah. She's brilliant. Yeah. She's well worth
good rider. She's in a plethora of really good up and coming female riders at the moment. There's plenty of them on the flat, but there's a couple of really good riders over jumps as well. But she's definitely very good. Herself and Cara Monaghan definitely coming up through the ranks fairly lively.
Yeah, Young Churchill. I'd say he's going to be a price now as well. So don't miss that one there, guys. That's a strong looking grade 3 as well. Not grade 3. It's the rated novice hurdle. He's still going to be a price. Yeah. So you get my race mixed up there, but absolutely. It's a nice one there, John. Listen, we really appreciate your time and everything that Fairyhouse is doing for us, and we'll be definitely Deck and I be down on the weekend, and we'll be certainly there on New Year's Day to take the place over, hopefully. We're only messing. Yeah, we really appreciate it, John. Anything you want to close with, or you happy enough to leave?
That's great. Listen, appreciate having me on. I'm looking forward to a great weekend. This is one I'm really looking forward to. Listen, it's going to kick off early on Saturday morning, like I say, but it's off with a cracker. So I think it's going to be a good weekend.
Awesome. Well, really appreciate it, John. All the best and best luck for the weekend.
Great stuff. Okay? Cheers. Thanks a million, guys. Cheers.
Many thanks to John for his time there and giving us a few tickets to give away to your good selves. Really looking forward to this weekend at Fairyhouse. We'll start off deck with the 11:36, the SIS Support in Irish Race and Beginners Chase. Take a full podcast Support in Irish Race and Beginners Chase. It wouldn't be a nice ringtone, wouldn't it? Anyway, we've got 15 runners, and the Big Westerner probably a potential headliner here after being withdrawn from Cork last week. John did mention Jimmy DeSoy. He said he wouldn't put him up because he thought he'd just go and win, but the mare might keep him honest. He might actually get a price. He might have actually been allowed to put that one up. And then Jacob's Ladder, who was second on his chasing debut behind Irish Panther. Wasn't a bad run, but may need to improve a little bit from that. Gurv Mottle, also another interesting runner, and Beckett Rock, who ran no sort of race when well punted in that beginner's chase. Jacob's Ladder was second in. Maybe a little bit better expected of him here, but who do you like, Dak?
I like Jacob's Ladder, Andy, obviously.
Very good. Yeah.
Look, still only a 6-year-old. That was a nice run over 2 miles, and he's going to be better up and trip. Like, even as a hurdler, as a novice hurdler, he wanted a trip and the ground. Like, I don't mind them making their chase debut over much shorter. I think that would have done him the world of good as well.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be much sharper this time. I do fancy him. Like Jimmy DeSoy, look, he won the Coral Cup last year. After being offered the guts of a year, he was second to Ballybourne in the Barding Bingham, and he went to Aintree and Punchestown, beaten in the grade ones. I'd be more interested in him now if he was being campaigned for the Stayers Hurdle. I'm a bit surprised they're going chasing with him. But look,
he was pretty dominant in the Coral Cup, wasn't he? After such basically exactly a year off the track as well. Yeah, and it's not as if the form has been let down. Like Impulse Trois he's running on Friday, isn't he? After being so impressive in a Pertemps qualifier, he's a 6-4 shot for the long distance hurdle on Friday at Newbury, Grade 2. So form's looking strong there. You can see where you're coming from with that one already.
Yeah, I would have assumed, having missed last season, they might have just we'll go down this route with him. But Willie seems to be sending all of them chasing.
Yeah,
like they're all going chasing. Like, no, I'd say if Stayman didn't get injured, he could have seen a fence. Like, is there Amsterdam is the only one not going chasing? Is he? And Nossie Mount. Everything else has an entry. Kirghizistan got an entry. Jada Grimsey went chasing. Like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so.
Not wrong. So we've got. I'd probably tentatively agree with you on Jacob's Ladder. I don't know, not an up at the top material, far from it. I think that there's probably better opportunities elsewhere.
No, but what do you make of the mare, Andy? Because she was second in the Albert Bartlett, and we haven't. I don't think we've seen her since. Have we? Or did she run a Punchestown?
No, she was left off. Oh no, sorry, she ran in the Grade 1, didn't she? She was pulled up behind Aurora Vega in the Grade 1. She didn't really go a yard that day on Easter, over the Easter weekend. So
which you'd forgive. I would forgive that.
Yeah.
But look, I don't know. I do like her, but I don't know how good she is. I know she's the fanboys really, really like her as well. But no, I like Jacob's Ladder. Haven't made his chase debut over 2 miles. I think would have done him the world of good. And, he's up 5.5 furlongs here.
Yeah,
I think he could be tough to do.
I could see Gordon having an extremely strong weekend at Fairyhouse now myself. I think he'll be leading trainer. I think he'll get more. I think he'll get more winners than Willie this weekend. And I think Jacob's Ladder probably the one to be with there. As we move on to the 12:09.
Yeah. Well,
right, the 12:09 is the Race and Stay Irish EBF Mares Handicap Chase over 2.5 miles. This is a proper competitive race for the grade, I think, Dec. I don't know if you kind of noticed with Ad Calum and True Testimony, quite a swing in the weights there, despite Ad Calum finishing ahead of True Testimony the last time. That might have been due to True Testimony probably getting burnt for going a gallop. But interesting nonetheless. Who did you come down here on in this one?
This is tricky now, Andy. It's a nice race. Like, you have nice horses like Speculatrix. She's a 6-year-old. She is quite classy. It's hard to know where she is though with her marking because she's never ran a handicap over hurdles either. But she went to Chepstow, was it? Did she win at Chepstow?
She won at Chepstow, yeah.
Yeah, but she was disappointing in Carlisle then, I think. You have me in stitches. She's 2-5 in her career. Again, just hard to know where these are. I wonder would she need more experience going into a handicap like this?
Quite possibly, yeah. Simon Torrance there as well. So instead of Mark Welch can be on mispronunciation.
Yeah, I'd say you'd want to be really, really good now to go into a handicap with such little experience, to into a handicap chase and be winning a tough race here but Crescent Moon is in here. She's still only 5. She's a hurdle winner off 106. She's ran a nice beginner chases. She's ran behind nice horses and she's got a good education over fences. To date, it is a handicap chase debut, but like a handicap hurdle winner off 106, only a 5-year-old. I know it's 118, but I'd say it's within her reach, that winning off that mark. It's just whether it's within her reach in such a competitive handicap chase, because I think this is really competitive. And Phil's Choice is the other one I like. She was the length second to Millstream Lady over hurdles off 106. Yeah. She was a winner off 97. She jumped well in her beginners at Limerick. She's running here off 108. I think she's a really, really good chance here. And
Okay.
it's just, I'd the slight concern she might bump into something too classy, but I don't know who it is. And, you know, Speculatrix, You Have Me in Stitches, they're the ones who could be the classy ones. But again, I'm not certain on that either. Like, do you know what I mean? It's a bit of guesswork. But look, I'll take Phil's choice. But I think Crescent Mill won't be far away either. But it might be a little bit competitive for her off this mark.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. Yeah, so I'm going to take Mispronunciation. Look, she's 10 pounds below her hurdles mark, and I thought she jumped pretty well the last day on her seasonal reappearance at Wexford behind Nuvotic. So, yeah, decent enough runs behind Hillsdale. She was well backed when last seen behind Hillsdale at Fairyhouse. So I think that, you know, if she is going to win a handicap chase, it'll be sooner rather than later. I get this is competitive, but her way of jumping and that run to put her kind of right, I think the 10 pounds below her hurdles mark gives her a fair chance here. So it'd be Mispronunciation for myself. Into the 1244 then deck, the Easyfix Equine Handicap Chase. This is over 2 miles. I thought this is probably the most intriguing race on the card.
Yeah.
This is really competitive. We've got 13 runners, many of which we know very, very well. We've got the King of PRS, Midnight It Is, good old Listenable lad, Touch Me Not, the one that you were keen on last year as a novice, Captain's Nephew for Philip Rothwell, Champagne Marler, Don't Go Yet. Like they're all lining up to have a go here. Very, very interesting race. And then it's good to see If I Were a Rich Man back as well, a horse I have a lot of time for. And they seem to be a little bit all over the shop on what Trippy kind of wants, but I would actually fancy him to go well here. I've always thought he's been a nice horse, you know. He fell behind Lecky Watson here in what was formerly, I think, the Killiney. It might even still be the Killiney. When Lecky Watson won over 2.5 miles. He actually wasn't quite done with there. He was only 2 or 3 lengths down when he took an absolute perler at the last. Ran over 3 miles at Wexford. He's underperformed at Wexford in the past, so that wouldn't worry me too much. Back to 2 miles here. Jumping, I suppose, could be a question, but I think he's a really nice horse for this season. I think he'll win a handicap chase. I'll take a chance on him here over 2 miles, given his likely odds. So I'll go there. Who do you like here, Dak?
Yeah, look, Touch Me Not off 149. He's way down in class. 6-year-old. I backed him for an hackle about this time last year, or just before this time last year. He was second in the Grade 1 at Sandown. Yeah, look, if he's the horse I hoped he was going to be last year, which he's not. Like he'd want to be winning this, but he might be again. He might be just too classy for these, like coming down a grade. If he runs his race, I kind of do see it hard to get him beaten off 149, but I'm not going to put him up as a selection.
Yeah.
The King of PRs, he's £6 above is Dan Moore win. Connor Stone Walsh took 5 off that day. Owen Staples takes 7 off. So we're only £4 above that. He was brought down early at Gowran, and I'm just wondering, was that a pipe opener for him, and was he going to need it? Now, the day out, you know, I don't know whether he got up and galloped away with them, or he was, I don't know. I didn't watch it back, but maybe he's not going to need this, but I don't know. So I'm going to go with Captain's Nephew. His last win was over course and distance of 122 on heavy ground. He's in first time pieces. He's £3 above that last winning mark. I think he's a great chance.
Very interesting. Yeah, no, he definitely would. He definitely would have a chance. The King of PRS, probably all roads leading back to the Dan Moore for him. He was second in this race last year, though. So
well,
he did give it a good go.
He definitely needed it this race last year because it was seasonal reappearance. And I remember thinking, you know, he's probably going to need this and I'll put him spot on. It's just he's probably all right after the Gowran. Like, you know, I mean, the day out and galloping away with them or galloping around the racetracks probably put him spot on, but I can't be sure. His Captain's Nephew, the pieces are on, he'll handle the ground. He'd be the one of, you know, I can make the strongest case for. Whereas, look, touch me now. I don't know. He still has to prove he can do it off this mark and the king of PRs. I'm not sure whether he's going to be fit enough because he did need it last year.
Yeah, he's won here before as well, captain's nephew. So well worth a chance. Sounds like a decent opportunity for him in a very competitive race. The Kettles County House Hotel Maiden Hurdle Deck next 2 miles. It's the 119 on the card. I think this is sorry, Maiden Hurdle. I said Memorial. It should be Memorial Hurdle, not Maiden Hurdle. Apologies for that one. Mercia, the return of Mercia, the Aintree juvenile winner, was kind of put in her place by Lulamba then after. Has to give weight away all around here. This is a competitive enough field. All bar 2 of them coming in here off wins. But who do you like here, Deck?
Yeah, look, she's obviously the one to beat. She's to give £6 to the rest of the field, but she is a Grade 1 winner. I think putting her place is a little bit harsh. Like, she was beating at Punchestown, but I don't think she was far from disgrace. But Robert Heiners is interesting. I'm Slippy, who she won very, very short price, 1-3 or something.
Yeah, it's easy. Yeah,
it's not a race I'm looking to get involved in financially, but I'm interested to see how I'm Slippy runs. I think she could go up to
he definitely we didn't learn anything from what he did at Cork, given, you know, he's an easy bumper, well, not an easy bumper winner, but he won a competitive looking bumper at Fairyhouse, and now he rocks up here. He's the one I'd be with here as well. Talk to Talk looks an interesting runner as well. Wendrock, I think I've soured on him a little bit. He's probably a good yardstick off 132 in a race like this, but I think there should be horses in here better than him. Piccolo Player, rated 110, although unexposed, but he'd want to improve on a rate and knots to go close here. And Barry Spirit, I think, is going to be a little bit short of what's required here after 2 runs. He did get his win, but this is a bit of a step up. Mercia probably will be short, but I'm Slippy. I think we'll give her enough to think about. The Jack McInerney Memorial Hurdles next deck, that's a Grade 3. For, you know, actually I was about to say for 4-year-olds.
Sorry, that's the one we covered, Annie.
Sorry?
That's the one we covered, isn't it?
Have I got? I think I've actually, that's why the Hotel Maiden Hurdle. I've got them mixed up. That's why I've gone mad. Apologies. Did I here? Bear with me now. I'm going to think I might have.
I felt like you were struggling there.
All over the shop here on To Take a Pull podcast this morning or this week. Unfortunately, sorry. The Jack McInerney Memorial Hurdle is what I was. Is what I should have said earlier, and it's the Close Brothers rated novice hurdle is what I should be putting in here. So just let me update the graphic for anybody that's watching on YouTube. Apologies. Maverick Mac up the top here, Deck. We've got Some Song, who's coming in off a win. Chase the Moon, who was a big price winner of a Gowan Maiden for Philip Rothwell and Tim Power Walsh. We got Gin Tonic, a recent Wexford winner in there for Paul Nolan as well. Who did you come down on here?
I think L'Evangeliste looks the bet of the day. I haven't looked at Sunday yet to say it was the bet of the weekend. But like the form is really stacking up quite well, Andy. Second the heads up at Listowel before beating Mullagloss. Mullagloss has followed up since. Beat Fruit the Mar and Emily Love in the Limerick bumper was behind. I started the Joe and Road Exile at Limerick last Christmas in a bumper as well. The form is so strong. Some Song has won a point and won a maiden hurdle, but was going to be beating that maiden hurdle at Down Royal over 2 miles 6. And Chase the Moon was quite a surprise winner. A little bit like Rocky Mountain Blue from the same stable. I just think the form is rock solid.
Yeah,
of Evangeliste, and definitely the bet of the day so far.
All right, okay, that's a quite a big shout there. He did do it well, didn't he? And the form is definitely in the book for L'Evangeliste. I found this race very difficult. I thought Gin Tonic was a nice performance to go and win at Wexford. There was quite a few nice maiden hurdles ran that weekend at Wexford as well. So obviously a staple of the track, as you know, with Wexford. I don't know if I'd take a chance on Gin Tonic. I think this is a bit of a step up, a bit of an ask. Yeah, there's no point. There you go. Right, Deck's on there. Yeah, the McNamara good thing, L'Evangeliste then. I'll probably sit this one out on the sidelines. As we move on to the 225, I think I've got my times back here, Deck. Unfortunately, the Kettles County House Hotel Maiden Hurdle is what's at 225. This is a strong looking maiden. It tends to be. I think this is where Firefox beat Ballyburn with Oronsi back in third a few years ago. So this is a pretty strong race. Dysart Dolomite, probably an interesting hurdle debutant here. Obviously related to Dysart Dynamo, and among others, and Dysart Diamond, a decent mare as well back in the day in the same colours. We've going to have the debut here, hopefully, of Raven Dark as well, who we also talked about on the previous podcast, related to Caldwell Potter and Mighty Potter and Brighter Days Ahead, etc. So looking like a strong maiden here, Deck, but who do you like?
Yeah, I'm not sure that it's as strong as the maiden we seen 2 years ago now, to be honest, Andy, and I struggled with it. There's nothing like Vanilla Diamond. It's been second in two maidens. Follow stick with the Process Home here latest, rating 114. Like you'd want to be better than that now, or you'd want the horse better than that to be winning this kind of maiden. Skylight Hustle second to the Devil, you know, fourth to the Thompson the bumper. To be honest, Andy, I'll be too busy counting my money and still collecting it, allowing me into the blink ban from the last race. So I haven't really anything for this, and I'm not going to force it either. I don't think it's as strong as it has been in previous years.
No, that's fair enough. I'd be kind of going the way Santos Despair improved so much for his hurdling debut to win last week. I think Skylight Hustle is going to do something similar here. I think he's probably going to take a fair bit of beating. Probably was unlucky not to win it, Gowan. He kind of got his pocket picked late. And I think he is a winner in waiting. I think any improvement on that run should see him fairly hard to beat. If Raven Dark was to go and win this on his racing debut, I'd be tripping over for him pretty much. I think it would obviously be a very, very nice horse, but I've mentioned before how difficult it is to win a maiden hurdle with no experience whatsoever. And I know you said this race might be a little bit below par on previous seasons, which is fair enough looking at the field. But the chances are there will be at least a nice enough winner. And I think if Raven Dark was to go and do this on debut, it would be extremely impressive. But the fact that Jack Kennedy is on Skylight Hustle tells me there might be another day in mind for him. And I think I'll be sticking with Jack to go and win this record, Nelia. And then, I'll be keeping the binoculars down the field for anything that's finishing, down the way a bit. No doubt about that. The Summerhill Mead Senior Football Champions 2025 Handicap Hurdle. They're booming. They're booming the senior football. Yeah, okay. They didn't get much further than that, though, did they? Mate?
Oh, well, I got a message about this now. Barry reckons this is the most important race of the year, so he's obviously a Summerhill man. Yeah,
absolutely. I think this does look like a strong race. I see Jordan's up the top there, Deck. Do you think this is a pipe opener then for possibly something like the Paddy Power Chase?
Yeah, I'd say so. Like he never hurdled in Ireland, rate 150 over fences, but even he might want to hurdle in France, but they're like little fences, So I can't see a horse that's ran over French hurdles then fences suddenly being electric over, our hurdles, and then being thrown in off 134. West Away is interesting. He's been chasing. He was a winner off 116. But it was quite some time ago now. It's June 24. He's £2 higher. There's two I really, really like, Andy. It's a big field. I'm going to take two.
Okay, you can have two.
Yeah, the Capo Glory. He was a hurdle winner off 135 in January 24. They got him down to 133 here. He was a good seventh in the Coral Cup last year. This is a really, really good opportunity for him if he's not bumping into one that looks to be laid out. San Hilario, he made his handicap debut at Navan 2 weeks ago. He was held up, came home well. He's up and trip in first time cheek pieces. The only problem is he's a 4-year-old. Is he going to be strong enough and good enough to win I know they're handicapped for their age, like they get the allowance worked into their mark, but it is difficult for 4-year-olds, and they usually have to they usually have to be nice now. But all the other signs now, he's taking a lot of boxes there, so I'd have it between them.
Yeah, I did have a look at that. The age of San Hilario did kind of put me off a little bit as well. I was interested to see how Granville Street would get on for Kieran Murphy and Simon Torrance. He's only had 2 hurdle starts, and they were a long time ago. But he is probably, fair to say, quite unexposed over hurdles. He was a winner at Kilbeggan in September 2023, and then he was well beaten by Williamstown Dancer in a grade 3 novice hurdle in October 2023. Went back to the flat then, and then wasn't seen for basically 2 years, but he ran a nice race behind Slurricane on the flat there at the end of October. If that puts him right and he can continue any improvement over hurdles, he's one that could go well at a big price, I think. So I'm going to keep an eye on Granville Street, see if the market speaks in his favour. He's plenty of flat handicap experience, so I wouldn't be too pestered about the fact of him being, absent for so long over hurdles. I think he if his jumping holds up, he should go all right. And if they thought he was good enough to run a grade 3, I think he's definitely worth a little look. The Willie Elliott Memorial Bumper is the last race deck over 2 miles. Did you have a chance to look at the bumper, or were you kind of happy to leave it there?
I didn't. It's probably not going to be a bad bumper now, but I didn't really give it much time.
Yeah, no, neither did I really. I think I did see a very nice bumper horse last Sunday at Punchestown, but I don't be punting in bumpers. I usually just try and pick out the nice ones after I see them run. There's plenty of other punting opportunities, especially on the Sunday card, which I'm buzzing for. That brings us to an end of TAP 130. I don't think we really had a nap of the TAP there, Deck.
No, well, we're not going to put Jacob's Ladder up, are we?
I suppose. Look, people can take from it what they think. Like I could be talked into backing Jacob's Ladder.
Yeah.
Definitely. I just don't know how confident I'd be in it. I do think Gordon is going to have a good weekend. Like I probably will end up backing him, which probably does make him the nap of the tap. But I think there is better opportunities elsewhere. I've kind of just, the more I've been dwelling on it, I have been kind of thinking about backing Skylight Hustle. I do like the look of him now. So he'd probably be my personal best bet on the card. Yeah. And then it's L'Evangeliste, is it for yourself?
L'Evangeliste.
L'Evangeliste, yeah.
Yeah, that's my strongest selection now. I can't really see past the Capo Gloria or San Hilario. I'd be confident enough now that the winner's coming from either of them in the handicap order at 3 o'clock. Yeah, okay. Captain's nephew, to put a couple of question marks over whether he's going to bump into it. Another couple, Phil's choice. Yeah, look, I do like Jacob's Ladders there, but little Evangeliste now, as long as there's no messing going on in that race, he should be winning that.
Yeah, and you'll have Lukey joining you on Friday for TAP 131, which is going through the dual grade 1 card of Fairyhouse on Sunday. I'm back in charge. Music blaring. Yeah, the music be blaring. Yeah, tops off and everything. Wearing our toys around our heads, all sorts of that crack. Yeah, absolutely. I'll just give it a few really quick thoughts. I'm not going to go ahead with the juvenile hurdle or the stayers race. I think the Royal Bond, as John said at the top of the show, looks like a serious race this year. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm looking at the betting right now. It's anti-post now. I see Love Me Tender is your top weight and has to give a little bit of weight away. I thought Port Authority was extremely impressive though on his hurdling debut. He's trading at around 13-2, and I think he's going to be a little bit underappreciated because the race not many got involved in, and Murat was a little bit keen. And then I talked about Sageborough as well. He's priced up at 25-1 for the Royal Bond. I think it's a mammoth ask for him to be winning a Royal Bond on only his second ever start, but he's probably a fair each way price because I do think he's well above average. So I'd probably chance the pair of them in the Royal Bond if you were to listen before declarations. 13-2 and 25-1 a piece. Very best of luck, obviously, to Old Man Dingle and the Dunglen Racing Syndicate. He's around 11-2 for the Drinmore. Looks a competitive race. Obviously, Romeo Coolio, Slade Steele in there. I think Gold Dancer of Willie Mullins is a rating of 153. Takes a similar route to the route that Riesberg took when he was second in this race to Delta Work a good few years ago. But I think that 153 rating is basically a summer rating. I'd take a chance on All Man Dingle. I think he's been very progressive over fences, and there's no reason to cool the jets now. Despite I do think Romeo Coolio is a very, very nice horse, but he was beaten at a short price in the Royal Bond this card last year, so I don't mind taking on one. Don't really have an opinion between Ballyburn and Tihupo. Jack will probably give you his thoughts on that later on Friday. And then the Bar 1 Casino Handicap Hurdle at 3:11. That looks like a proper race. 13 entries as we stand right now. I'll probably be on Attaboy Charlie, thinking that he's going to be, Mr. Ed Cawley, Mr. Fairyhouse, very eye-catching at Galway, reverts to hurdles after fences last season, and came back over hurdles with that really eye-catching run at Galway. Took that perler in the Liffey, which I think really set him back. But I think he has a right chance in what looks one of the most competitive 2-mile hurdles we'll probably have between now and spring. So really looking forward to that. So a few quick tips there for Sunday, Deck. Hope you didn't mind that. You and Luke will go way more in depth on Friday while I'm out at the Christmas party. So any closing statements then, Deck? Are you happy to leave it there?
No, look, I'm happy enough. Looking forward to covering Sunday tomorrow with Luke. Gone wild. We'll even be drinking on the show. No, look, just thanks to Fairyhouse for John coming on and giving us tickets away, and we look forward to the weekend, and I hope to get great crowds, and because they do deserve it.
Yeah, they absolutely do. Yeah, thank you very much to John. Don't forget our competition. Just comment the winner of last year's Drinmore on YouTube, Spotify, or Twitter. We'll give out 2 pairs of tickets to the chosen winners. Hopefully we see you this weekend. But until next time, guys, that was Take Up Hole 130. All the best and bye-bye.